In the sterile corridors of Stanford Medical Center, 2023, a moment arrives that will redefine what it means to be human. Dr. Elena Vasquez's hands tremble as she watches the neural interface readings. 3 years of sleepless nights, she whispers to herself, and it all comes down to this moment. Her breath catches. If this fails, Marcus will never walk again. The patient, Marcus Chen, lost his ability to walk after a spinal injury 3 years ago. Now, microscopic electrodes dance along his neural pathways, translating thought into movement with unprecedented precision. Marcus's world explodes with sensation, not pain, but pure electric awareness cascading down his spine. The hum of processors becomes a symphony in his enhanced hearing. His toes, they're moving. He's moving them. A sob catches in his throat. It's more than medicine. It's evolution in real time. The boundary between flesh and silicon begins to blur as his brain learns to communicate with titanium and graphene. Each successful neural firing represents a step toward a future where disability becomes obsolete, where human limitation dissolves into infinite possibility. This isn't just about restoration, it's about enhancement. As Marcus takes his first assisted steps, supported by exoskeleton limbs that respond to his thoughts faster than his original nerves ever could, humanity crosses a threshold. The age of Homo sapiens quietly ends, and the dawn of Homo Cyborg begins with a single, revolutionary heartbeat. "Steady," Dr. Vasquez murmurs to her team, the scalpel poised above Marcus's temple. Through the observation window, protesters' chants filter through. "Stop playing God!" But she presses forward. Marcus chose this risk over a wheelchair. Her patient, Marcus Chen, lies motionless beneath sterile lights, about to become the world's first full cyborg integration subject. The neural interface, a crystalline web of quantum processors and biocompatible fibers, awaits implantation into his cerebral cortex. This isn't merely medical procedure, it's evolutionary leap. As microscopic tendrils of synthetic neural pathways thread through organic tissue, the boundaries between human consciousness and artificial intelligence begin to dissolve. Marcus's vital signs flutter on holographic displays, each heartbeat marking humanity's march toward transcendence. The silicon chip, no larger than a fingernail, contains processing power equivalent to 1,000 human brains. Yet it's designed not to replace thought, but to amplify it exponentially. Dr. Vasquez's hands move with precision, born of years preparing for this moment, the instant when Homo sapiens begins its metamorphosis into Homo Cyborg. Outside the sterile chamber, protesters chant while investors calculate fortunes. But here, in this cathedral of science, only one truth matters. The species barrier is about to shatter forever, one synapse at a time. In the sterile corridors of MIT's Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, circa 1960, Dr. Manfred Kleins adjusts his wire-rimmed glasses as he peers at oscilloscope readings that dance like electronic heartbeats. The term cyborg has just been coined, emerging from his collaboration with Nathan Klein as they envision astronauts enhanced for space travel. Across the Atlantic, British neurophysiologist Gray Walter tinkers with his mechanical tortoises, primitive robots that respond to light and sound, early glimpses of machine consciousness. Kleins pauses, his pen hovering over the cyborg equation. The possibilities exhilarate and terrify him equally. Are we liberating humanity, he wonders aloud, or engineering its replacement? The oscilloscope's rhythm seems to echo his uncertain heartbeat. Kleins dreams of seamless human-machine integration, where technology doesn't merely assist, but becomes an extension of biological consciousness. His laboratory buzzes with the hum of primitive computers, each vacuum tube glowing like a neuron in humanity's expanding electronic brain. In dimly lit research facilities, other visionaries sketch blueprints for artificial limbs controlled by neural impulses, cochlear implants that restore hearing, and pacemakers that regulate failing hearts. Their work represents more than medical advancement. It's the first tentative steps toward transcendence. They cannot yet foresee the profound implications of their research, that within decades, the boundary between human and machine would blur beyond recognition, birthing an entirely new species. In the sterile corridors of cutting-edge medical facilities, a quiet revolution unfolds. Here, the line between human and machine dissolves not through choice, but through necessity. "Mommy," the word crashes into Sarah's consciousness like a tsunami of sound. Her daughter's voice, higher than she remembered, sweeter than she dreamed. Sarah collapses, overwhelmed. "I can hear you, baby. I can finally hear you." Across the hall, retired veteran Marcus Thompson flexes his prosthetic arm, its neural interface responding to his thoughts with fluid precision, allowing him to embrace his grandchildren once again. These aren't science fiction fantasies. They're medical miracles happening today. Deep brain stimulators halt the tremors of Parkinson's patients. Cardiac pacemakers synchronize failing hearts, and insulin pumps maintain diabetic lives with algorithmic precision. Each device represents humanity's refusal to surrender to biological limitations. Dr. Elena Vasquez, a leading biomedical engineer, monitors patient data streams in real time, watching as artificial components seamlessly integrate with human physiology. "We're not replacing humanity," she reflects, observing neural activity patterns on her screens. "We're enhancing it." The patients before her aren't becoming less human. They're becoming more alive than ever before. This is where the cyborg evolution truly began. Not in laboratories seeking enhancement, but in hospitals fighting for survival, where technology serves as humanity's most compassionate ally. The medical ward transforms into something far more ambitious than healing. It becomes a cathedral of human augmentation. Dr. Elena Vasquez watches through reinforced glass as volunteers line up for procedures that will fundamentally alter their biological destiny. Gone are the days when cybernetic medicine merely restored what was lost. Now it promises to transcend human limitations entirely. Inside sterile chambers, precision robotic arms weave neural interfaces directly into healthy brain tissue, their movements choreographed by algorithms that calculate enhancement trajectories in real time. The volunteers, Sarah hesitates to call them patients, signed waivers with shaking hands. "Will I still be me?" one asked. Now their vital signs pulse with rhythms no human has ever experienced. There's no going back. Retinal displays project streams of data directly onto their enhanced corneas, while subdermal processors hum with the quiet efficiency of biological fusion. The atmosphere crackles with anticipation and ethical tension. These aren't emergency procedures born from necessity, but conscious choices to abandon the constraints of natural selection. Memory modules promise perfect recall, strength amplifiers pledge superhuman endurance, and cognitive accelerators offer intelligence beyond current human parameters. Each enhancement represents a step away from Homo sapiens and towards something entirely new, a species that chooses its own evolutionary path through steel and silicon, rather than waiting for nature's slow progress. In sterile laboratories bathed in blue-white light, the final barrier between mind and machine dissolves. Dr. Elena Vasquez carefully positions the hair-thin neural filaments against her patient's exposed cortex, each thread containing thousands of microscopic electrodes ready to tap directly into the brain's electrical symphony. The monitor displays cascading waves of neural activity as the interface comes online, translating thoughts into digital commands with unprecedented precision. Sarah stares at the glass, her mind forming the intention. The robotic arm moves, but not because she told it to, because she thought it. "My God," she whispers, "it's reading my mind." The glass trembles in mechanical fingers that somehow feel like her own. But this is merely the beginning. The same technology that restores lost function now promises to enhance human capability beyond biological limits. Memory banks expand cognitive capacity, processing speeds accelerate beyond natural constraints, and artificial neural networks merge seamlessly with biological ones. As the boundary between organic thought and digital computation blurs, we witness the emergence of hybrid consciousness, part human intuition, part machine precision. The neural interface doesn't just restore what was lost, it creates something entirely new. In this moment, watching Sarah's thoughts command matter itself, we glimpse the threshold where Homo sapiens transforms into something unprecedented, a species whose mind transcends the confines of flesh. In the sterile chambers of neural enhancement facilities, the most profound questions of existence echo through gleaming corridors. Dr. Elena Vasquez stands before a massive mirror, her reflection fractured by the quantum processors now residing in her temporal lobe. Half her face pulses with subtle blue light, synapses firing in patterns no purely biological brain could achieve. 17 conversations flood her awareness: stock prices, weather patterns, her daughter's homework anxiety. The cacophony should drive her mad, but it feels natural, too natural. When did she stop being Elena and become something else? Across the city, Marcus Chen stares at his carbon fiber hands, marveling at their perfect dexterity, while mourning the loss of calloused fingerprints that once told the story of his humanity. His enhanced mind can calculate orbital mechanics in microseconds, but cannot reconcile the growing disconnect from his former self. The enhanced claim they've transcended human limitations, while purists argue they've abandoned their very essence. Philosophy professors debate in augmented reality forums, while their students, some biological, others hybrid, struggle to define the boundaries of their own existence. The line between human and machine hasn't just blurred, it's become a battlefield where identity itself hangs in the balance. The stratification was inevitable, yet its swiftness caught humanity unprepared. Within a single generation, society fractured along lines more profound than wealth or status. It divided between the enhanced and the unaugmented. In gleaming corporate boardrooms, executives with quantum-linked neural implants processed data at superhuman speeds, making decisions in microseconds that once required hours of deliberation. Their eyes glowed with subtle digital overlays, displaying real-time market fluctuations and probability matrices invisible to baseline humans. Meanwhile, in the service sectors below, unenhanced workers struggled to compete against their cybernetic colleagues. Maria watches the enhanced server glide between tables, each order transmitted directly to the kitchen via neural link. 0 mistakes, 0 effort. Maria clutches her notepad tighter, knowing her 20 years of experience can't compete with silicon precision. The enhanced commanded exponentially higher salaries, accessing exclusive networks and opportunities that required specific augmentations to even perceive. children born into enhanced families received their first implants before kindergarten, their developing minds seamlessly integrating with digital environments. They attended schools where lessons were transmitted directly into their consciousness, learning at rates that made traditional education obsolete. The unenhanced watched helplessly as their children fell behind, unable to afford the modifications that had become prerequisites for success. Humanity had solved the limitations of biology, only to create an unbridgeable chasm between those who could transcend their humanity and those forever bound by it. In the shadows of progress, fear festers like a wound that refuses to heal. Across the globe, a growing resistance movement emerges, driven by those who see cyborg integration not as evolution, but as the death of human essence. Their rallying cry echoes through underground networks and clandestine gatherings. Pure humanity, pure soul. Religious leaders denounce the technology as blasphemy against divine creation, while philosophers warn of losing the very core of what makes us human. "You're not human anymore," the protester screams at Officer Chen, whose enhanced reflexes easily dodge the thrown brick. Chen's mechanical voice responds through his vocal synthesizer. "I'm more human than you'll ever be." The irony cuts both ways. In rural communities, human-only zones are established, where enhanced individuals are banned and traditional ways of life are fiercely protected. The movement's propaganda spreads through analog channels, handwritten flyers, word-of-mouth networks, and pirate radio broadcasts that can't be digitally tracked or silenced. Fear drives their mission, fear of obsolescence, of losing control, of becoming slaves to their own creations. As cyborg technology becomes more prevalent, the resistance grows more desperate, more radical. Underground bunkers serve as meeting places where pure humans plot acts of sabotage against enhancement clinics and research facilities. The future of humanity hangs in the balance between progress and preservation, between acceptance and resistance. In the softly illuminated chambers of Neo-Tokyo's residential towers, Maya traces the delicate circuitry visible beneath her partner's translucent, synthetic skin. Their love exists in a realm where heartbeats synchronize through shared neural networks, where emotions flow not just through touch, but through direct data streams between consciousness and code. "What if you see something in my mind you can't unsee?" Maya whispers, her fingertips tracing her partner's neural ports. "What if sharing everything means losing ourselves?" Her partner's eyes flicker with data streams. Maybe that's the point. The intimacy they've known pales beside this possibility of true mental fusion. Yet doubt creeps in through Maya's half-organic mind. If they share everything, what remains uniquely theirs? Across the city, similar conversations unfold in countless homes, where enhanced humans navigate love's new frontiers. Some couples choose asymmetric upgrades, maintaining the mystery that distance creates. Others dive fully into the digital deep end, their consciousnesses so intertwined that individual identity becomes fluid, contextual. The old poets wrote of two hearts beating as one. But what happens when those hearts are literally synchronized by quantum processors? In this new world, love isn't just about finding someone who completes you. It's about choosing how completely you wish to merge with another soul, knowing that once certain boundaries are crossed, there may be no returning to the beautiful uncertainty of being truly, separately human. In the gleaming towers of Silicon Valley, the future of humanity is being written in code and circuitry. Behind closed doors of tech giants, executives gather around holographic displays showcasing the next phase of human evolution, not through natural selection, but through corporate design. Neural interface prototypes line sterile laboratory shelves, each device promising to unlock superhuman capabilities. The pitch is seductive: enhanced memory, instant knowledge access, seamless communication through thought alone. Marketing departments craft campaigns that make cybernetic augmentation seem as essential as smartphones once were. Focus groups analyze consumer acceptance rates while engineers miniaturize processors that will soon nestle against human neurons. The corporate agenda is clear: create dependency on their technology by making it indispensable to human function. Stock prices surge with each breakthrough announcement, while bioethics committees struggle to keep pace with innovation. Venture capitalists pour billions into startups promising the ultimate merger of flesh and silicon. The race isn't just for market dominance, it's for control over human consciousness itself. As beta testing begins on willing volunteers, the line between enhancement and manipulation blurs. The corporate push toward Homo Cyborg has begun, and resistance may soon be futile. The sterile conference room feels suffocating as humanity's brightest minds confront their creation's implications. Dr. Sarah Chen stares at the holographic brain scans floating above the table, each one representing a volunteer whose consciousness now exists in digital limbo. The enhancement protocols they developed promise to elevate human potential, but the preliminary results reveal something far more complex. Test subjects report experiencing memories that aren't their own, emotions amplified beyond recognition, and a growing disconnection from their biological origins. "We're losing them, Elena," Dr. Webb slams the table, holographic brains scattering like digital ghosts. "Subject 7 hasn't spoken to his family in weeks, says they're not real. How is that progress?" Dr. Chen's enhanced processors analyze his emotional state: 73% fear, 27% rage. The quantum processors embedded in their neural tissue have created feedback loops that fundamentally alter personality structures. Yet Dr. Chen counters that halting now would abandon those already transformed, leaving them stranded between two states of existence. Outside, protesters demand transparency, while enhancement recipients plead for access to the technology. The weight of playing God settles heavily on their shoulders as they realize there's no path forward that doesn't sacrifice someone. The future of human consciousness hangs in the balance of their next decision, with millions of lives affected by choices made in this sterile room. Dr. Elena Vasquez stands before the quantum mirror in her laboratory, her reflection split between flesh and circuitry. The woman who once feared technology now embodies its ultimate fusion with humanity. Her neural implants pulse with azure light, processing terabytes of data in milliseconds, while her biomechanical heart beats with engineered precision. The tipping point arrived not with fanfare, but with a whisper: the moment when enhancement became necessity, when the unaugmented could no longer compete in a world accelerating beyond biological limits. In the streets below, children learn to interface with AI tutors before they speak their first words. Surgeons perform operations through haptic feedback from across continents. Artists paint with thought alone, their consciousness streaming directly into digital canvases that reshape reality itself. The old debates about human purity seem quaint now, relics of a species that clung to limitations while the universe demanded transcendence. Elena's enhanced vision sees through walls. Her memory banks contain the accumulated knowledge of civilizations, yet her tears still fall when she thinks of her grandmother's weathered hands. Elena's enhanced vision sees her grandmother's ghost in the corner. A glitch, her diagnostics confirm, but her human heart knows better. Some things transcend upgrade cycles. The question isn't what we can become, it's what we choose to remember. We stand at the precipice of our species' most profound transformation. The ancient dance between evolution and extinction now unfolds not over millennia, but decades. In gleaming research facilities across the globe, scientists splice consciousness with silicon, merging the organic spark of human awareness with the limitless potential of artificial intelligence. The first generation of true cyborgs emerge from sterile chambers, beings who transcend the biological limitations that have bound humanity for 200,000 years. Their enhanced minds process information at superhuman speeds. Their augmented bodies resist disease and aging. Yet questions haunt this brave new world. Are these enhanced beings still human, or something entirely new? In the shadows of progress, unenhanced humans face a stark choice: adapt or become obsolete. Some embrace the transformation, seeing it as humanity's destiny among the stars. Others resist, clinging to the pure genetic heritage of their ancestors. As neural networks merge with synapses and quantum processors synchronize with heartbeats, we witness not just technological advancement, but the birth of a new species. The age of Homo sapiens draws to a close. The era of Homo Cyborg has begun. Evolution no longer waits for nature. It accelerates at the speed of human ambition. As we stand at the threshold of becoming Homo Cyborg, we must remember that our greatest strength has always been our ability to adapt while preserving what makes us fundamentally human. The merger of flesh and silicon does not diminish our humanity. It amplifies our potential to transcend the limitations that have bound us for millennia. Our capacity for love, creativity, and moral reasoning remains the compass that will guide us through this transformation. The future we're building is not about replacing ourselves, but about becoming more than we ever imagined possible. In every enhanced heartbeat, every augmented thought, and every connection between mind and machine, we carry forward the dreams of countless generations who gazed at the stars and dared to believe that humanity could evolve beyond its origins. We are not losing ourselves. We are finally becoming who we were always meant to be.